Hi, my name is Suzanne and I'm the founder, creative director and CEO of Soul Art by Suzanne. Season 2 of SoulTalk will premiere in October on the 5th. But leading up to that, we're going to look back and remind ourselves of some of the wonderful conversations we had in SoulTalk Season 1. How to do? What's poppin', man?
It's all about soul heart. It's all about
soul heart. That's wonderful.
Soul heart.
Can you hear me? I'm not hearing.
Renee,
yes, we can hear you, Renee. Turn up your laptop or your phone or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, blessings.
So I'm like trying to figure out how, like which angle for all my head so that you guys not just seeing a glare. I don't know. If you get contact. Can't bother. Like, so Stephen Ray is in his car. What is going on?
You don't know.
Anyway, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another Soul Talk. Welcome, Renee. How you doing?
Hot. Miserable.
Okay, so first of all, let me just say, for those of you who are, wondering what's going on, I'm out of quarantine and I'm in the country. I'm in Mandeville.
Yay!
Hi, Stephen Ray, how you doing?
I'm here. It's all about Soul Talk. Said that already, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's very good to be here.
Yeah, man.
From on the road,
Yeah, so we're waiting for Brian to join us. But listen, so where I was quarantining, right? I had an air conditioning unit. Yeah, man. I'm out of the AC now. Not a good look. The heat. Listen, for me, like I'm ready to just get on a plane and go back. The heat is so hot.
Don't style Jamaica just because you come from foreign. Don't style Jamaica, you're rude. Rude.
No, man, it's hot. Hot, bad. I never remember. So how's it been going, Ray?
Well, I've been feeling the heat as well, if I'm to be fully honest. But thank God I work where AC is. I work in the AC, so I don't find many reasons to go outside now. I don't. there are many reasons, but I don't find them. Wherever they are, I leave them alone.
Indeedy.
Good for you. Where I work, I have AC, cousin.
You have AD.
Exactly.
Man, did I be at? I don't know, man. It's gonna make some money off of me because this no ain't working.
JPS going bid.
Good evening, Brian Johnson. How are you, sir? We're just checking in, finding out how everybody's doing. What's going on?
Mr. Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're complaining about the heat. Okay, so we're going to be talking about life in a post-COVID world. I was listening to the Prime Minister today, and he's taking even steps to continue to open up, and the curfew is now 11 o'clock, and gatherings are now 20 people, and he's opening up. But today I went on the road. It's in Mandeville town today because I needed to get my SIM card. Well then, Brian, what happened to you?
Nothing.
Okay. And listen, oh my goodness. The people like in the establishment, they're trying. The people are trying, them of them. Warder at the area. And I'm gonna let in certain amounts of people and whatever. But when you go inside, man, oh my goodness. Me say like people are just but I'm standing up in a line outside of Juicy because Some people in my family wanted patties from the other place because, you know, if you're not tasty patty, but anyway, it's another. So I'm standing outside because the security said, she looked inside and she said, you have to wait out here. So I'm standing up. One of the workers from the establishment came outside with 2 garbage bags to dump, right? So she comes outside, she has on no mask. She doesn't make the efforts to walk around me. She almost bounced me down. Then somebody stopped her to talk to her. So she catch up right behind me here. So, and just as I move from in front of her, my lady bust out one big dirty yarn in her neck, back. I was like, what is going on here? What exactly is going on here? I was like, when I got back in the car, I was just spraying myself. And I came home, I just went into the shower because I'm like, oh my God. But you know, I look around and I see everybody in masks, and I'm like, that's gonna be like our norm now. Like everybody gonna just walk around in a mask and they have to talk 6 feet apart. What is gonna be a life? What is life gonna look like in the immediate post-COVID world? What does it mean for theater? What is school? Like, I have no idea what school is gonna look like come September when I go back. Like, I'm hearing these crazy stories about 6 feet in between students in each classroom, and two out of the 3 of you know, so the classroom them are not big, but the amount of students into the class is enough. So I can't. So I'm just, you know, I want us to kind of have a conversation. I'm hoping we'll hear from a student who can just share with us what it was like going to school or being educated during COVID, waiting to the exams which have not happened yet, and you know, what do we think it's going to look like? So what is a world post-COVID look like to you, Renee?
Well, I think there are already changes being made in most of the business places like the banks and such that we're gonna have to get used to. They're cutting down the number of tellers, and persons have to use the smart machines on the outside. I don't know how we're going to work with that, because this morning when I wanted to go to the bank and I looked at the line outside and the crowd, there was no form of social distancing happening. And I believe that we're going to eventually let go of that. The mask, I don't see a lot of persons wearing their masks. No.
Right.
So I think what is going to happen now is that persons are going to probably have their masks, and in order to go inside of the business places, they're going to just put it on at that point in time and do the hand sanitization thing at the entrance. I think that is going to be a mainstay moving forward, the whole sanitization.
Like for the rest of our life?
For a good amount of, well, for the rest of the year, I think. Going into next year, for sure, it's going to be a thing, I believe. I'm not sure about the wearing of the masks, because persons are already complaining about it, and a lot of persons are not using it. I don't know how it's going to work out when people go back to school in September. But I don't know. I'm trying to get used to the changes. I don't think it's too much. I don't think they required too much of us. Wear a mask, sanitize your hands. I think it's doable. So, yeah, I think so. To go into the business places, that is enough. Because if I'm at church, I can't wear the mask for the entire service. They actually come to me and say, you have to put on your mask, or if you need to breathe nice, clean air and not carbon dioxide that you're exhaling outside. It's not working out.
Is the virus airborne?
Is virus airborne?
Yes. It's not airborne, is it?
It can be transmitted
in droplets, right?
Right.
So if you are observing 6 feet apart in church, why you have on the mask for the whole time?
I am wondering, why is it necessary myself?
Some people cough far.
People cough far?
Some people lungs strong, you know, so when you cough, it got travel.
And also, if you sneeze, it goes into the water droplets, and it it fans out very far actually. So
And if you're a singer in the spirit,
Nobody not getting a spirit from master here. Not a soul getting into spirit. Them can't even breathe. Praise and worship a keep and nobody can run up and down. Everybody just sit down one place. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's it. We cannot breathe.
the spirit
no,
now.
man, I see people turning in the spot, man.
So the spirit of unmasked, the spirit is restricted by the mask as well.
Right. It's not working out. It's not. It's a serious. This is what is happening at church. It's not the same.
I want to ask that question. What has been happening at church? Because if the spirit was existent at that particular time, and now that we were wearing masks, he's no longer there.
That was a joke, Brian. But I mean, but I've heard people say, because we're starting to open back now. We've been online for a while. We've started to open back with small, following the social distancing. We have chairs that are spread out. Unless you're in a family, you can probably sit together. And people feel restricted by the mask. And I don't know if it's because they're not used to it. And it will get better with time, but they feel restricted. They feel restricted by not being able to hug each other, and they haven't seen each other in person for a while. So yeah, people have been feeling, I've heard those comments. I have underlying issues. I have not been to any gathering, but But what do you think though, Brian? Post-COVID world, what is it gonna look like?
It's going to be a sanitized world.
I was wondering today if I was aware of germs as much as I am now. I don't think so, because would I just go mandeville? I'd be hot and bothered, but I wouldn't be, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I felt like I was germ when I was going home.
A lot of the things are things that we should have been doing from before. So for example, when I go to the bank, I don't use the pen that's on the counter. I walk with my own pen.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't touch doorknobs in public places, use my elbow or my leg, or try to rush behind somebody.
All along, Brian, I don't believe you.
I'm telling you, I'm serious. I've been doing that all my life because when I like touch like public places, like public restroom is a no-no for me anyways. So I think people are becoming more aware of just being clean, because a lot of the things that happen to us health-wise, because we touch dirty things and we put under our face and we don't realize. So I think going forward, people are going to be more conscious of public safety and health. I'm like
Question:
that.
Do you clean your groceries when you come in from the supermarket?
As in now?
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
Not all the time.
At the beginning of COVID, I started.
Let me tell you, it depends.
I'm not going to tell you I do it all the time.
It depends on when I'm going to use it. So if I just carry it in and I plan to use it today, I'm going to sanitize it. But after a couple of hours, them say the germ's dead. The virus.
Oh,
that them say. That's
okay.
right.
Like
that's right.
I've seen where they say it leaves for a couple of days on certain
surfaces, yeah.
But what I've always been doing, and this is no lie, from before COVID, when I open a canned food, I always wash off the lid.
Yeah, because rat and roach and them something there.
Yeah, that's why I do it.
But the other packets, I don't normally clean them, but I've always been cleaning my cans anyways.
Okay, if you watch me, I'll soap down the Lasco bag.
I did that.
I soap and bleach. You understand me?
I had a thing of disinfectant wipes and everything had to be wiped down.
That's that. I have to watch work. This extra.
Everything. Pasta bag, flour bag, sugar bag, everything.
But all I can that if pasta go boil up, well, I don't know. Because you're touching the bags, I guess. Yeah.
No, so that was a challenge for me, because I come in with the bags. Okay, let us say the bags were delivered, because in Barbados we had a period when it was 24-hour lockdown and the groceries were delivered. The bags are delivered. They come and put down the bag and they leave, and then I go and I pick up the bag and I go inside. I open it. I wipe off the counter. I take a wipe and I take up a tin. And then I wipe the tin. But then I have to hold back the tin with another wipe, because you're always cross-contaminating though. It's always cross-contaminating. So I take up a bag of pasta, I put it on the counter, wipe off one side of it, but then the back side was touching the counter, so now the counter is Listen, it was a whole operation. It was a whole operation. Why people
Only you alone can make it so complicated, Miss Beal. Really?
No, sir.
That confused me a while ago.
Exactly.
because I don't know, like
Fully confused.
no.
No, sir.
So the good thing is that it's making us more aware of,
Right.
ourselves. The other thing we like about what's happening with COVID is these masks. Because when you go out, people don't really know it's you.
Wait, I have to give you a joke. No, man, I'm gonna put my
I
stepmother
mean,
on
like
blast.
that.
My fart can't hide, so them know me.
No,
Like, you have to call to anybody.
I came to Mandeville yesterday, right? Jason brought me down. Shanique and Chantal follow me. Everybody's masked up because my dad is elderly. Who wanted us to be careful. So they came into the house with masks on and they sat down and my stepmother went over and elbow greeted each of them and she's like, hi, how you doing? Whatever. Hi to Chantal, hi to Jason, hi to Shanique. Steps away and she turned around and she looked at Shanique and she's like, you know what she look like? She look like your daughter. I'm like, is she?
Yeah, it's hard to really realize who is who.
Shanique had to pull down the mask and say, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that aspect. So it's
That's
kind
so wrong though.
I guess to some people.
It makes us disconnected, doesn't it?
I know, but sometimes I don't want to
be connected because you. Okay. All right. Stephen Ray,
life
Yes, ma'am.
post-COVID, what does that look like for you?
It doesn't look much different, to be honest with you. Yeah, I see where businesses and such they're putting certain things in place, but in terms of my daily life, it hasn't changed much really. So even at work, I wash my hands the same amount of times I would normally. At home, I wash my hands the same amount of times I would normally. If I buy things at the supermarket, I normally either wipe it down or I use the contents, and then I wash my hands, so my hands are usually clean. So it's just interesting to see people's reactions and how scared people are. I understand why, but I really I have seen it for myself. But I see why people are scared. Some people are scared and not cautious. I would agree with being cautious. Scared is what kind of I don't understand it, but
Oh, you don't understand
it's been really different. It's been really the same. Really.
Have you watched a COVID patient on a respirator in the hospital?
Yes, I've also seen an asthma patient. I've also seen an asthma patient struggle to get air, and I have asthma, and I've never been scared of asthma. That's what I mean.
No, it's not about being scared of asthma, but it's being scared or being wary of an asthma attack.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Wary and cautious would be the same thing for me, but I'm saying people are actually scared. Okay. And I'm saying, I think
the scare factor is going away. I think we're so used to this COVID news.
Based on how much people are walking up and down without masks? Yeah.
Yeah, it's leaving us.
Well, that's good to know, but it has been my experience so far. Read people's reactions. Most of the persons I know they are still pretty scared.
Okay. What do you think it's going to look like in the classroom, though? Before we get to the theater, okay, let's do theater first. What is the future of theater? Live theater. We're going to one theater and sit down with one group of 40, 300 people and watch one play. What is the future of theater post-COVID?
15 people in the audience.
Sorry?
15 persons in the audience now.
And it now go work out.
That doesn't make sense financially, though.
No.
But so many places have been doing it anyway.
Oh my God. That's bitter.
Bitter.
The views expressed by Brian Johnson are not necessarily the views of the rest of the group. Oh my God. What is the future of theater though? What do you see it as? Talk.
Have anybody saw Dave Chappelle's new special, 846? So what Dave Chappelle
I heard
did,
a piece of it.
But did you see it? Because what
piece of it?
Okay, what he did was that he had a stage set up on a lawn, like it was a big lawn, like Hope Gardens, for example. and that's how we do the show. I was toying with that idea recently because I truly believe that no theater space in, at least in the Kingston and St. Andrew area, is big enough to have social distancing rules adhered to, as well as be profitable.
Can I just interject there?
Sure.
When you say no theater space in Kingston, what do you mean? Name one of the ones you're thinking about.
So when I said
no, just name a theater space that you're thinking about, Stephen Ray.
Well, the first one that came to mind was Phoenix, although it's no longer.
That's no longer in existence.
It's no longer in existence. There's Barracks Entertainment Theatre.
No longer in existence.
No longer in existence.
Next one.
Ward Theatre.
Has not been in existence. Come again.
it was. So here's what I'm saying. I feel like you're trying to. So here's what I'm saying.
The point I'm making is that we lost 3 theaters in the last week, so we don't have any theaters. Green Gables stage. Barracks.
What I'm saying is, even if those were operational, that's what I mean. So even if they were operational, the space wouldn't allow for persons to be socially distant properly, as well as for the theater or the production company to be profitable. But I get your point though, so thanks for that. What I was thinking
my point being that whole reality of people losing spaces is a part of the post-COVID theater reality.
True, definitely. Really sad. I wouldn't have a lot in the first place. So yeah. But I think the magic of live theater may be lost if we don't do it properly. If we're going to use an outdoor space, but I think we're going to have to try to find a way to make it work. But that's really where I see it going.
Yeah, we will have to, but I don't know what it's going to look like.
So, well, there has to be some infusion of technology.
Yeah,
definitely
in live theater. So I thought we were going along the lines of performing and streaming the performance, but then how do you ensure that you monetize that, and how you ensure that Jamaicans don't pirate it and don't take it out, as you say.
We can't ensure that Jamaica has no pirates. Because me see what's sweet and good DVD.
Why don't they just join the live? Why don't they just join the conversation, Brad?
No, another conversation is happening in another Zoom call.
Okay, gotcha.
And
I'm a little bit okay. So I know, for example, that Dufton Shepherd has a show coming up, which is a monetized comedy show. I will post information about it on my Facebook page. Somebody remind me, please. But yeah, he had advertised that he's doing a comedy show. I don't remember the name of it right now. And it's like $5.99. And I guess we'll see how much Jamaicans take to that new dispensation of seeing something online that have to pay for it. And I understand that we're gonna have to do that, but I'm torn because I feel that theater is not theater if it's not live. The audience is not physically live in front of you. But when I was in Barbados and I had an event that we were in the middle of planning right as COVID hit Barbados, and we had to move it online, and I was very concerned that what we were looking for in terms of connections among people would have been lost, and it really wasn't. It became a Zoom meeting, and the connections were almost as good as if we were all together, talking. So I'm still in my mind around embracing that new reality.
Or what we could look towards doing is making our theater become more like, well, let's still use audiences anyway. The sitcoms.
You mean with the live audiences in there?
Yeah. I was thinking about it. Sitcoms are really just plays, because the entire thing happens on a stage.
It happens on a stage, but it's not a play because they go cut and they start over. Or they say, let's take that again, or they go from another angle. They do all of the regular film stuff. All that happens is it's on a stage and there's an audience. So
yeah, I know. So that's why I'm saying we can do something like that where we put the stuff on stage still, but geared towards it being a film production.
Right, but we're still gonna lose that live audience. But if I guess
we can still have
way, then the audience won't be integral. The audience won't be integral to the money.
It wouldn't be anyways.
You can have the 15 people.
Well, you can have the 15 people, and the TV production of it will make the money.
Right. Gotcha.
So
all right, well, we're going to come back to that a little bit later on, but I wanted to, sorry, what were you saying, Renee?
I'm saying basically we're forced to go into film.
Not forced.
Filmized version of theater.
Yeah.
For it to make any form of sense monetarily.
Especially since local TV is very lacking with local content. Like they must scramble to find things now on TVJ.
That's actually pretty true.
You know, Bo Brand, they're scrambling to find things on TVJ. Still not embracing proposals and offerings.
I know. So I'm not saying it's our fault.
They don't have local content, but they're not supporting local content.
I'm not saying it's our fault. I'm just saying that there's no content here.
Yeah. But them not being no content would help us. You know, us having to put things to use technology and make things virtual won't be helped by TVJ not having any content, because they still ain't gonna take nothing because they have not had any content in a while and they weren't taking anything.
I think they might be regretting that now because.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, they're probably
going.
But they're still doing it. So I want to say hi to a few people who are watching with us. My little brother Ricardo. I can't believe it. I think Facebook is making a mistake because I don't think he's really watching. I never know some of one little brother. I have one little brother. I'll do him think say my man. He's on. Hi Teresa Benjamin and my friend Ricky from Barbados. Barbados in the house. Hey Canute. All right, so we can get the thing afterwards, but what do you think school is going to look like post-COVID? Brian, how has it been for you? First of all, what was it like during COVID as a creative arts teacher?
Yep.
And then what's going to look like afterwards?
Yeah, break up. Go again.
What was it like for you teaching during COVID? Or what is it like? What has it been like? And what do you think school is going to look like post-COVID?
I mean, it's not been easy because nobody's used to this. It takes a lot more preparation, I think, because you have to make sure that your lessons are technologically ready. So it's no longer just standing up in front of the class and using your voice to engage your students. You have to make sure so you know how to do other things. So even though these are things that people should have been doing anyways, so using PowerPoint slides, using multimedia presentations to get the students really engaged, because sitting on a computer, the children want to see computer stuff. Them don't want to sit down and just have a conversation like that. No child really wants that. So it was hard. I feel it's hard to get.
How do you think it impacted the students?
There are some students who really are shining in online school. I think it's because they thrive on being alone and there's more confidence in that space. But then you have those who are so much of high achievers before COVID, and now they're like very closed off. Them really not function well because I guess they thrive off of being social. So it's a challenge now to find that balance to get those persons to, you know, to cope with the homeschooling environment.
Yeah.
And it's hard if your home environment is not very conducive to learning, especially when sometimes you're talking to the student and you hear the parent in the background having a conversation and the child is listening to the parent, or there's another
kind of like no.
Or you have a sibling who is in a class as well, and so you're hearing that class.
Right.
You have to constantly be trying to mute that child, even though the child wants to participate in the class. Sometimes you have to be kind of harsh and trying to mute them because it's very distracting. So,
yeah. But then aren't these issues some of the issues that we've been grappling? I mean, it might be different students, but for every class that you have thriving in that environment and some who aren't, you have the classroom next door where I make noise and you have to send one message to the teacher for quiet down. Isn't it kind of like just another version of the same thing?
Not in my environment.
Oh,
Not in my
sorry.
We don't have that.
Sweet. Okay, so we're gonna hear from a student now.
Uh-huh.
And see what it's been like for her. I let her introduce herself.
Okay.
Hi Danger, how are you? So we're on Facebook, so you have to open your video.
1 second, guys. The meeting start. Here, the meeting start. 1 second.
Like that, you mean, Brian?
You come around that one.
Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
Hello.
Can you open your video, Danger? Danger, hello.
Hello.
All right, let's wait for her to sort out herself. I know that the performing arts students, for example, at the Cape and the CSEC levels, not just the performing arts students, all the students, they've not yet been able to have their exams, for example. So they're kind of waiting indefinitely for their exams to happen. And there was a truncated version of PEP. PEP had started, PEP had started and then COVID hit, where did it go?
Yeah, it had started. And they had, I think, 2 more papers or 3 more papers left, and they decided not to do the other.
Not to bother to do it, right? After all of that preparation,
they did some
all of that stress.
Grade 5, so they're using the grade 5 exams plus
right.
the first grade 6 exam.
Right. Okay. So, good evening, Danger person. And she's frozen. Okay. Sorry.
You know, you have
What's happening?
You have students who do this, pretend to be frozen.
Pretend to be frozen? Are you kidding me?
I pretend to the part here because I don't want to answer the question there.
You mean like how some of my students just fall asleep on time? Renee Johnson, would you like to?
Johnson.
I'm just calling a name, a random name, okay?
Okay, that may or may not be on the line.
That may or not exist. Good evening, Danger. Okay. Yeah, she might have to come out and come back in. All right.
So are there any students on the live on the Facebook page? Can we hear how they have been coping and you know?
I will ask.
You know what's been hard though is acting, because I have to be acting as well in class. And you know when more than one person attack, the sound and Zoom no work. So
and then the internet connection and the delayed.
So what I've started to do is whenever they're acting, I only have 2 persons performing, so that it limits the amount of confusion that's happening. So all the plays that are being done have to be 2 people, and they will turn off everybody's camera. I will see those persons on the screen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maximum 4, but they have to be like really paying attention to each other and try not to speak when the other person. Even though that's something that we still need to do on stage, but on stage it can still work because you can hear the confusion.
Because you're seeing the person, you can read their, but yeah.
It's been difficult for these children to try to do that. Yes, Danger, I think, is ready.
Danger, you ready now?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, the flow Wi-Fi, you know, the struggle.
Oh. All right, so introduce yourself, Danger. Let me tell you who we.
All right, next time nobody say anything, just make sure start talk when she's ready, because
no.
Rough. All right, no, better just introduce her now and then wait.
Okay, no, I don't want to introduce her. I was going to introduce everybody and then let her introduce herself. So, Danger, this is. Hi.
Hi, everyone. I am Danger Harrison. I have to talk fast before the Wi-Fi go down again. I attend the Arden High School. Bill, Miss Susan Bill, Miss Susan Honorary Bill is my beautiful, wonderful second mother. I love her very much. And yeah, man, you talk now because, you know, yes.
So we're talking about life after COVID, and we're talking about what is school going to look like after COVID. What we wanted to hear from a student who had to go through learning during the pandemic. How did that look? How did it feel? Was it a challenge? How did it impact you? And then we want to get your thoughts on what you think it's going to look like come September.
All right, so it was definitely a challenge for me. I'm the type of person that I work with the teacher. So if I'm having an issue studying something, I have to ask the teacher, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? So it was 100% an issue for me, not having my friends around to study with. And then things like this was an issue, because you find that when we do online meetings like this, my Wi-Fi keep on chipping in and chipping out. Somebody might have calling somebody, and then it's one bag of drama and everything. I would don't get to focus on.
And on cue, right on cue.
No, sir. No, sir.
I love the face.
Wow.
This is too funny. This is too funny.
Are you hearing
While
me?
wait for, yeah. Okay. Go.
All right. What else was I supposed to? What was the rest of the question?
Yeah, that's just what the experience was. What? That's all about the experience. Right. Let me just type it in the chat so she can refer to it. Somebody type it in the chat for me, please. Because, you know, when she comes back, she can just read it for herself.
Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing.
Right.
So
apart from not having your friends and the challenges with the Zooming, how else did it impact you? Okay. But I hear a sense of frustration from her though.
Yes, man, I hear it as well.
Deidre is a very self-sufficient student.
I can hear from a 5-year-old cousin now how school has been going on for her. She wants to share.
She wants to share. All right. Wait, Deidre, I'm going to ask her to leave the meeting and come back in.
Okay, all right. I'll do that.
Okay, great. Yes, Renee.
So
Go ahead.
this is Dorian Taylor. She has been going to school online, right?
I did.
Yes, and how was it?
Only in the top mornings at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock you have to go to school online. And what you use?
A pencil and a book when a board comes up.
Also, a board comes up and you write down your notes, right?
Miss Levers didn't let me write my names. They just let me write the date at the top.
Okay. So do you like going to school at home? Or do you prefer to go and see all your friends?
Actually, Kashif and David are not there. My friends are not there, but Kashif and David meant to be my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not in my class because they're not showing up anywhere.
Okay.
So my friends are gone.
So you miss them?
Yeah.
And you want to go back to school and see the teacher and your friends? Or you prefer to stay home?
Actually, that I love school because it have all the some stuff, and even if it's someone's birthday, they just choose a bouncy castle, and my birthday always been on the heart.
Okay. All right. Thank you. It was good talking with you. Stop by another time. All right?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Where's Navarro? Renee?
Thank you.
Where's Navarro?
And I'm not sure. Would you like to hear from him?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to find him.
Okay. So while we wait for Deidre to try and rejoin us, I mean, yeah, I was saying that Deidre is really very self-sufficient and very motivated. As she said that, you know, she works with her teachers when she doesn't understand something. She's very in touch with them. So for her, I was a little bit surprised at how frustrated she sounded. So if to me in my head, if somebody like Deidre sounds so frustrated, what happened to the little one that would normally a struggle anyway?
And you know, just to add to that though, Susan, you kind of brought up the point when Brian mentioned that the students who were thriving, that currently some of them are currently not thriving, and the students who weren't thriving, they currently are. So it's just a conversation that needs to be had, because you look at one child and you expect them to, you know, to be as I said, self-sufficient. You know, they usually do well inside the classroom. But then this particular situation may be just what the doctor ordered for somebody else, if you understand.
Right.
But they get to stay home, do everything that they need to do. Hold on a second.
Right, and then in the middle of that, so, okay, wow, this is a very interesting live today.
Isn't it? Oh man.
Wow.
So yeah, I was just saying that, what was that?
Are they 3 feet apart, or what's supposed to be 6 or 3?
It's just 3, just 3.
Very close to me.
Uncle tree. Yes, man. So I was just saying that it's just a conversation that needs to be had, and all of us need to just find a way to thrive. Just like how the person's in the classroom. Go ahead.
Right. No, I'm just saying the teachers will have to also figure out how to pull, just like you used to have to.
Just like big teacher Brian, yeah. Catch repeating them, yes, or you mean?
I try.
Okay, so Navarro. Good evening, Navarro. How are you? Perhaps if Renee would unmute.
Renee could probably unmute her mic, maybe.
Hi, Navarro. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
All right, so we're talking about what life is going to look like after COVID. We wanted to hear from some students about 2 things. One, what was the experience like having to be learning during COVID? The challenges, what was good, what was bad? And then 2, what do you think life is going to look like come September?
Well, it varied for different persons, in which most persons experience problems ranging from internet, not having the same on-hand, face-to-face interaction that they would normally have at school. It created a problem for most.
So you think that not being with your friends and teachers and stuff was a negative for most people?
Yes, it was a problematic experience for many.
For you? Okay.
No, not for me.
You love run up and down and get trouble at the people at school. That's why.
I didn't have a problem staying home.
So you found the learning as effective online as face-to-face?
Yes, it was, for me at least.
What do you think school is going to look like come September? What is post-COVID school going to be? Because they're talking about social distancing and 6 feet in between people in the classrooms. How do you think it's going to work?
Well, in reality, that social distancing thing among teenagers is not going to happen. Possibly in the classroom, they're going to be a little bit distant, but the second that they're out of supervision, they will be intertwined or laughing like teenagers.
Yeah. So what do you think, what do you imagine that might be put in place to deal with that? Or you just think that it just not gonna work?
Not gonna work. That's all I can think about right
now. Okay. Anybody has any questions for Navarro? No? Okay, thanks, Navarro.
All right, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. So, guess who I found? This is my sister. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So
oh my God, wait. You have lived with Stephen Ray all of your life?
No, not all of my life.
Not for the past 4 years.
But most of your life. Okay, let's take a moment. Just reach your hand towards the screen. We're going to pray for her.
Are you the Bosa type?
Bo. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is my sister, Sis J. And she is a teacher of special needs. That's what you say?
Yeah.
Teacher of students with special.
She's a teacher of students with special needs. So I just asked her to come out and just give her perspective as to how she has been coping with teaching online, and especially how has it been teaching children with special needs online.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's my turn now?
Yes, it's your turn.
All right, night again, everybody.
Night.
It has been a challenge, a great challenge, especially when it comes to special needs. Each child is different, and so you have to treat the cases as differently as the children are. So it is totally different from being in the classroom because it has its own challenges. Whereas in the classroom, when I have all the children, I can easily go to a child. I can easily go to a child to assist with any particular issue, and I can take the time with that particular child, not so much online.
Right.
And then, in addition to that, the children are home, so they're comfortable. They don't want to work, so I am trying to pump them to work. And when I'm pumping them to work, it is frustrating because when they're in the classroom, you can say, "Look here, you're not going outside until the work is done. You're not leaving the classroom to go for lunch until the work is done." But they can easily put the palm up in your face, or they can sign out. Oh yes, man, I've gotten that. They can sign out and tell you that the internet was the challenge. They can also have an issue in the morning, and so they don't come on at all. So that is a challenge in and of itself. Another challenge is basically the platform that we use to reach the children. They don't fully understand it, and so reaching them is an issue. Getting them to be able to put the work up online is another issue. And like today, for example, we were doing end of year exams. The children have to stay online so we can see them do the exam, so we can verify that it was actually done by them. The screens were frozen. Internet went down.
That's crazy.
I still have not received some of the exams which were supposed to have been done by 2:00 today. And parents help to give them the answers. It's a whole different ball game.
Wow.
But I mean, you get to see the children in their natural environment. You get to see them at home. You get to see when they cuss out this one and cuss out. It's a whole, look here. Being at work, I prefer the classroom. I seriously prefer the classroom because at the same time, when I say class ends at 2 and I'm done at 2, I'm done at 2. With these children, because of how they process information too, I cannot be hard and fast with the time. So I'll say that I'm done at 2, and sometimes 4:00 I'm still there with one child.
Wow.
And because I'm not there to say, all right, I'm teaching 1 + 1, and the child, if I say to the child 1 + 1, the child isn't getting it. All right, what is in the classroom I can draw for to give the child to say, here, this is 1, here, this is another one. We put them
Sorry.
When you put them together, count them, you get 2 kind of a thing. I can't do that online. So it makes it difficult for me to teach because I'm more of a hands-on kind of a teacher. And the students that I have, most of them are hands-on. So we lose that kind of a thing when we teach online. And it has that as well as other challenges.
What do you think we're going to look like post-COVID for you as a special needs teacher, a teacher for students?
I worry about it. I've been worrying about it because when the students come back to the classroom, they have been working online for 4 months. I'm going to have to be drumming up and trying to get them back into the classroom routine. Now, when we did interviews the other day, we had to ask parents, do your children have devices that they can use in the event that we want to continue this online learning thing? I'm honestly not sure how it's going to look when we go back into the classroom. And then these children are children who are already, even before COVID, they were tech savvy and into the technology, into the devices and so on. And I have to be teaching myself because I was not so much the savvy type.
Girl, me and you.
So I have to be teaching myself. And then one of the worst things is to have a student who knows more than you where the technology is concerned. So they tend to want to lock you out of class if you get there late, kind of a thing. But where this is concerned, we just have to be a step ahead of them, sometimes 2 steps ahead. So I'm a bit iffy as to what it may look like in September if we actually do open fully.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
CJ.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
You're
CJ.
welcome.
This is my sister. Oh,
We'll pray for you here. We'll pray for you.
Hi, Brian.
That is
In
Brian.
Jesus' name.
Brian
In
Johnson.
Jesus'
Hi,
name.
Brian Johnson.
That is Renee.
Hey, Renee.
Renee, your last name again. Dawson.
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 Hi,
And
Renee
this is
Dawson.
Susan Beadle.
Susan Biddle.
Yes, I.
Highly blessed.
Ale? Bless.
Nice meeting you.
Yes,
guys.
CJ, big up
Bless,
yourself.
yes.
CJ, big up yourself. You know what I mean?
I'm there too.
I bet, you know what I mean? I can
Bye,
go on.
people.
Go on. All right, can go on. Yes, I. Yes, I. That was my sister. So yeah, it seems it's going to be an interesting transition from.
What will things look like?
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was just saying it's going to be an interesting transition. When students get used to one thing, and then they have to revert, especially when they find it so easy. Some of the students, I mean, find it so easy to use the online platforms and to sit at home in them underwear and do what they need to do and watch TV while them on Zoom and them kind of things. It's going to be an interesting transition to get persons to focus again when come time when it's to go back into the classroom.
Which is why I think that we should really think of transitioning back to the way things were, but try to do more of a hybrid of
Right.
I was thinking that
the
too.
physical as well as the
Wow, Stephen Ray. Thank you.
I mean, if I have somebody walk across my screen tonight, my screen.
No, you want to see all the dogs stuff I look for me a while ago. Like I said, brother, I'm space, you know. Anyway, continue, Brian.
Yeah. So what we are working on right now is a system where we're going to be having half of each class come in, and the other half stays home and does zooms in while you're teaching one half, and you do a rotation weekly.
Yeah.
So you have the social distancing happening in the physical space, and you still have that online experience going.
Right.
With a mixture of the two.
Right, and I know that each school is going to have to figure out what works for them.
Yeah.
In our instance, I mean, I'm on leave, so I'm not a part of the conversations that have been happening, but I know that when they've measured out the classrooms for us, 6 feet in between each child or among the students is like 9 students per class. It's a quarter of what is normally there. So, even with the use of combination of classroom and technology, we're still going to have to get creative in even how we handle classroom. And one of the things I heard a teacher in the United States saying was her school was suggesting that the whole idea of being absent from school is going to be null and void. Okay, you can just decide if you're not going to come to school today, just join in online. And she was like, these policymakers don't understand because have an option whether to come to school or not, because I know cannot mark them as absent. Them just do what they want to do, because they were saying you have the option of going online and the lesson must be made available post lesson. Them can just go to panelists now 2 weeks later. So then you take away the necessity of being at school, whether online or in person.
Well, there are ways around that, because you can mark yourself present, but there can be stipulations made where if you're in a Zoom call or if you're in the Zoom classroom, you need to be visible for at least arbitrary number, 80% of the class, if you understand me. So that proves that you are present.
What you're saying is that they are being told that nobody's to be marked absent from here on out.
Oh.
You have the option. So she's saying people are going to feel like they just don't have to come to school and they can always just...
Which they don't. If you're going to have the lessons online, then
Right.
You don't.
Right.
Yes,
You just have to make sure that you're there for the exams and the tests, I guess.
But if I'm to be honest, I find the perspective of kitting out a class with cameras and monitoring the use of said cameras and videoing the classroom while teachers are doing it, I find that to be an exciting venture, to be honest. So
because you are not doing it.
That's because you're not the teacher.
No.
So savvy kind of person.
I'm making reference to the technology, so
There ain't no
before.
teacher who's excited about them class being recorded. None.
No. I'm sure no teacher is excited about that. And I'm not a teacher, as you quite rightly said, so I can speak about it only from my perspective.
It's going to be very hard because you initially had to learn how to transfer your physical teaching to Zoom teaching, and now you have to do a hybrid where you're monitoring the students on Zoom as well as the students in front of you. That's even harder than any of the other two poles.
And they're not gonna hire an assistant for you,
No, they won't.
And you have to be on your P's and Q's because you're on video.
Yes.
I know. I was just about to.
Which is what, yeah, look,
say
Yolanda just said a while ago, when you have to rehearse your class before you have it, before you tape it.
Because parents are listening, you know.
But you know, I couldn't, say me couldn't operate in another system there.
Well, when they come back,
you probably will.
They would sue me.
I know it's interesting. It may turn out to be like the prevalence or the well-known fact about police brutality, because it was happening long before, but it's just now with the advent or the emergence of social media and the ease at which you can get videos out there, that is being highlighted so much now. So you might go into a classroom and
so we are trying to say things that in a classroom where we are trying to stimulate talk up.
May I try to say things happening to the classroom that person looking on without having the proper context might look on and say, hey, no, that wrong or whatever, when sometimes it works in the classroom. Just saying. And people without proper context might look on and say, oh, as we said, that wrong.
I think you're gonna say that some teachers have been delinquent in the physical space. And
no, sir. That's not what I was thinking from.
Because even me, I'm gonna say I'm delinquent in the physical space.
No, you can't say it.
I'll say that.
Yeah, you can't say it. You can't say it.
There are some days when they don't do the aggressive work for some lessons because you did the lesson already, and so today is more of a revision. Let's practice. But right now you have to ensure, look like you're too comfortable at any point. You have to always make it seem like you're doing a rigid regiment. So.
And your boss here, that's something in there.
No. But I'm never delinquent. I made sure to preface that.
But that's right.
Even if I want to do some of my more comfortable teaching, it'd still be okay. But you don't want people to say, and so then teach at school, and So it really, you don't really know what to think because the parents are always there, especially for the younger ones. Even though you don't see them, and them telling the children the answers, and you pretend you never hear them.
Wow.
Yes, Renee, that is the answer. Very good. Even though you
hearing them on.
Let us make certain things slide. So in this environment, we're not really sure the children are learning because the parents are helping them a lot. Stephen's sister just mentioned it. Even with the exams, that's why we're not doing any exams now. We can't do exams online because there's no way to guarantee that the child is doing the paper. Whether you may not be seeing the person helping them, but the person is there because the mic is muted, and the mother tell them, say, 1 + 1 is 2, write that down now. You can see when the child look over, if say, I listen to the person.
Yes.
A lot of things that happen where Zoom is making, and I wonder if education will go down this route where we don't focus as much on exams as we normally do, because exams cannot be important now in the Zoom dispensation.
Right.
You can't use exam for gauge progress. What you say?
Children can be assessed in many, many ways.
Come again?
How are we going to assess them? It doesn't have to be that.
I know, but okay. On the Zoom, they're going to be.
We are very low, Renee.
Don't try to turn up your speaker here, because that's not going to help.
Okay, while Renee is frozen and we wait for her to rejoin us, we have back with us, and we're going to each of us just whisper a word of prayer over the danger of the internet account. All right, Danger, you were sharing some of the challenges that you had being online instead of being in the classroom. But how else has dealing with education during COVID-19 for you? How else has it affected you?
Well, as I said, there are some negatives and some positives. I have definitely gotten the opportunity to spend more time with my family because at first, you know, I'm very involved at school. So a lot of times I'm in school and not really focusing on my family and all of that. I'm going to be very honest. I haven't been studying as much as when I was at school because I don't feel motivated, really. I don't really feel motivated. I don't feel that push. You know, you go to school every day, you're around the teacher cuss you off, danger day homework, make sure you say do this, da, 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 da. I don't really have that. I know I'm not supposed to really have that push because I'm at the age, but I still feel very demotivated because I'm not seeing my friends every day, as I said earlier, and I just don't have anybody around me. Mind you, my parents do it, but it's not enough to like push me and all of that. So I feel like not only me, but a lot of my friends are also demotivated, and I'm not studying as much as I would if school was open.
What do you think school is going to look like post-COVID or come September?
Wow. Come September. Let's hope school actually open come September. Honestly, they said that it's going to open, but I know that's going to happen. They probably still have to do this online thing because let's face it, the students, even though we're high school students, not a lot of students are going to like not listen to the rules and not like them. So their friend them go up them up, I go a long time in the CEO. Everything it's going to be hard to like do that social distance thing. You know, kids, teenagers like to touch and play and yeah man. So I doubt that come September, honestly, I doubt that school is even going to reopen. I feel like it's just a state of mind. I don't think it's going to happen, honestly.
So what do you think is going to happen? Because education has to happen. So what do you see happening?
Online. Things like this is an online thing, and we only go into school if it's 100% necessary to do an exam.
So how many of your, if you have a class, let's just say your class has 40 students, how many of them have access to internet and have been coming to school online?
Not a lot of them. In fact, classes have stopped at Arden. We're basically on our own right now to study. About like 50% actually have the internet access to come online and do the thing. About 50% of us at Arden.
Right. So how do you think that's going to pan out if schools don't physically open back?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. Apparently, some just go have to get left, unfortunately. That's basically how I see it because if
that's what you see happening from September.
That's what I see happening because if school reopens and they see that the virus is actually spreading because students are not obeying, which is what I think is going to happen. That's what's going to have to happen because it's better them life than them education, right? So.
Wow. Anybody else have any other questions for Danger? Danger, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. I will see you in September.
Yes, miss, definitely. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right, and take care. And you know, do what you can to encourage each other.
Okay.
Missing the interaction from your peers, but you don't have to because there is social media. You can connect with each other. Do what you can to encourage each other.
All right, thank you. Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us. All right, love. Bye.
Brian.
Oh, Stephen is here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm not sure if it was mentioned before, because my connection was pretty poor a couple of times. But as it relates to discipline, I'm not sure if you were the one who mentioned it before, if it was CJ, but how do you manage discipline in a classroom with the parents there and whatnot?
We do not manage it.
Oh, wow.
If a child don't want you to discipline them come so. That happens every week. A child just
Wow.
They must mute you.
Oh my.
They must log out.
come off, and they walk away, and then they have some where the parents are there and say, "You know, hear sir talking to you. Answer, sir. Listen to sir." So I'm glad for those parents. So they see that children not gonna listen to we anyways, and they don't listen to the parents anyways.
Because I was gonna say the only way it could work is if the parents are on the same page as you know, all have to be on the same page.
But you have some children who just don't listen at all. And so the parents are scold them just not pay attention. So I just mute them, let them do them thing, and I continue with the class because I really can't discipline anybody. Really and truly. I can talk and hope that them conscience will kick in and them will say, "Okay, sir, I'm sorry." And some of them do, especially the older ones, you can kind of work with them. But when the young ones know how to mute themselves and know how to they just play with that like constantly. You have one boy who just press him just mute and mute, mute and mute, mute and mute, mute and mute, constantly show the class. And I talk to him. Stop. You have people who change them Zoom name. I had this boy who changed his name to SHIT. Like, excuse you.
Oh dear.
Wow.
That's an essay about, you know.
So, Brian, on the flip side though.
So maybe Zoom is not the best platform then. Maybe you need a platform that gives you more power, more control.
But what platform can that be? What can that platform really do? Because you're not physically there.
I mean, I don't think that Zoom was created for the classroom, but there are some of these platforms that were created for the classroom.
The only thing you can do is put people in the waiting room.
And just leave that.
They can just leave that in the waiting room, and some of them want that. And then you have some persons who are not paying attention. You see them on screen, you know, so you may not have the problem of they're absent from school. We're not seeing them coming to class. Them come, but you can see that they might watch something on YouTube, or they might play one game. Them play a Fortnite enough time while they teach.
Isn't that like a child? Isn't that like a child not paying attention in the classroom? Like, you know.
It is, but sometimes you don't really know if that's what they're really doing because you have so many faces on the screen.
Right.
And then when you realize that person's face don't look like them engaged in the discussion or following what's happening. So let me ask and find out what you're doing. I didn't hear them say, yes, sir, what, sir? I really was watching YouTube or Fortnite or Roblox. I learned some games and I never know about existing.
Wow.
So is updating the system. They come on the entire day and don't pay attention to anything. You're seeing them, but them just doing them own thing.
Okay, wow. My brain is just so scrambled about all of this.
My auntie came a while ago and I was just thinking about this. If it's a case where they're gonna have the children continue the schooling at home, it's gonna be a big challenge for parents who will need the children to be at school.
Yes.
Because I know from my auntie that she has been having a big challenge finding persons to take care of the children while she has to go to work.
Yep. Okay, so welcome, Dennis, right?
Hello.
Welcome back.
We're talking about welcome back. Yes, we're talking about life post-COVID and what this classroom is going to look like. So we've been asking some students, we had some students on, about how it has been for them learning through this pandemic and what do they think it's going to look like. And we just had a sixth form student from Ireland who said, as a matter of fact, both the students from Ireland, one is in 10 going into 11, one is in 12 going into sixth form, going into 13th grade. And both of them said they don't see how the social distancing is going to be controlled when school starts back. So the young lady we were speaking to a while ago said, boy, she thinks that school reopening is a state of mind. It's not going to happen because she doesn't see how it's going to work. And so she thinks they're going to open back. Nobody's going to be social distanced there's going to be a spike in the virus and they're going to send everybody home anyway. And then those who don't have internet just get left. This basically is what she was saying. That's how she is envisioning the future. What has it been like for you from, you know, your territory where you are, and what do you see happening in the future?
Well, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We're all waiting.
What are the plans? What I mean is, what are the plans? What is
we
it?
have no idea. We have no idea what the plans are. We keep getting emails inviting people to be principal and assistant principal for Cumberland Virtual Academy. So they're trying to put together an optional school system, virtual
right, hold
school
on there.
for students.
Let me pause you. First of all, tell us where you are.
I'm in North Carolina.
Okay. Tell us the kind of school you're in, what the demographic is in a general way. What
I teach in an elementary school. It's a Title I school. A Title I school is a school where a large population of the students qualify for free or reduced lunch. So that tells you that, you know, they
financially depressed,
financially challenged,
socially depressed. Yeah,
right. Some of the communities are. When we went off when school closed, we went transitioned to virtual learning. It was a challenge for a lot of students, and what the county did was tried to figure out how they were going to get meals to these students, and then devices to these students.
I wasn't even thinking about that, you know, because Bran, as you would know, you do have children who them own the main meal for the day is what them get during the feeding program at school.
Right. Yeah. Right. So and then you know, when we finally got into virtual learning, we had some of the challenges that I heard you guys discussing, where the students were distracted. Some of them were in bed. Some of them, you know, were babysitting younger siblings, and so on. So various different challenges that they faced. And it was a learning curve for all of us. You know, we had never done this thing before, and suddenly we had to do it, and we had to figure it out very quickly. So we don't know what the new school year is going to look like. I gather some parents will have the option to either send their kids to school or let their kids continue with virtual learning. I gather they're trying to establish some sort of a virtual, you know, organization.
Virtual learning academy. So you have A school and B school. So instead of two different shifts, you have physical school and virtual school.
Right. So I gather that's what it will look like. As to social distancing at school, I don't know. It may be possible in a high school. It's going to be very challenging in an elementary school and younger, you know. And so I have no idea what it will look like. We are waiting to hear. I know the year-round schools just started back, and they've started back with remote learning, so they've not gone back into the building. So we have year-round schools here where they literally go to school year-round. They get like every couple of weeks they get a 2-week break, and then they go back, and that happens year-round. So the year-round schools, I gather they're just going back, and they're doing that remotely. For the traditional schools, where we go in August, and then we have summer break at the end of May, we're waiting for further instructions.
So, Ms. Vita, you mentioned Bog, you mentioned mentioned A school and B school. Do you think that perhaps we would have to revert to the shift system?
That's what I was talking about, and as I said, the A shift and the B shift. So it is definitely okay. So what I gather is that there are some things that are on the table. There is physical learning. There is with social distancing. There is virtual learning, and then, as Brian mentioned, there's a kind of hybrid. And I think each school will have to figure out what works for them. And I think some schools opt to go back to the shift system. Some schools will do some kind of overlapping. And then maybe some schools will do what Janice is talking about, which is you have physical school and virtual school. Instead of shift 1 and shift 2, you have physical and virtual.
Right. I saw on the news today that they're in another city, they are actually preparing the students they have 3 options. So right now, and I guess, I don't know if it's for high school, I really don't know all the details, but you can actually opt to do school online right now, right? That has always been that you could always opt to do school online. So that situation continues. And then they have a new virtual thing that they're establishing, and then children coming in. So parents have those options. But it looks as though, based on what the news said, the virtual registration has started for that virtual school, and it's now fully booked.
Wow.
So a lot of parents are afraid to send their kids to school.
Yeah.
Because they don't want them getting the virus and then bringing it home.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're scrambling to try and work it out, and we just wait for instructions, and we carry them out to the best of our ability. But there are a lot of challenges that they have yet to overcome, and the school or the county can come up with a great plan, but if the families don't have the infrastructure or the resources,
right,
that plan can't work. So
Renee mentioned a concern a while ago about parents. So you are a teacher, but you also have children who are students. What if your school opens back and you have to go in physically and their school goes on virtually? What?
Right. So that was a huge challenge when we were at home. As a parent, as a teacher with children. So everybody was sent home to homeschool, but I was sent home, but I couldn't homeschool because I had to teach, my kids. It was a very big challenge. And so I imagine that if that happens, it will be a challenge, particularly for my younger child.
Yeah.
Right. The older one, can handle her stuff and keep herself on task and so on. But the younger one definitely would need supervision. And if I have to go back to work, then he would be on his own, to figure it out. So yes.
It's rough all around.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
I guess we just have to have the mindset going forward that we have to have an open mind, as Brian says. It's gonna be some kind of. So we're just gonna have to figure out how we as teachers and parents and administrators.
But we know that something has to be done, because with the opening up of the various states, we're seeing spikes in cases.
Yeah.
So if we go back to business as usual, it's not gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later, alligator.
Later.
Bye. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, we are just about at that time now. Any final words? I personally am looking. I am curious as to what it's going to look like. I'm interested to know what the plan is going to be physically, you know, what we're going to be expected to do, what more we're teachers expected to do, and how, you know, I mean, I know it will have to happen. I'm interested to see how it's going to pan out. Any final words? Renee?
No, it's just that we know that technology is what it is where it's at, and it's not going to be business as usual. And I feel that if we try to make it business as usual, we will have some issues in terms of the numbers going up. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Brad?
I'm just open to welcoming the lessons that we're learning about the infusion of technology in our lives, as well
Right.
as public health and safety. So that's what I'm
Indeed.
taking away from this COVID experience,
Yeah.
because our lives can be better for it or from it.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we wish you all the best. We wish you safety.